Well, two questions. First, Zoe. You write, hi dear Magdi. I have a parent-teacher conference this Thursday, so most likely I won't be able to listen until later. If you get a chance, can you speak about transmission? This concept doesn't make sense to me on the absolute level, as who would transmit anything to who, when the reality is all is one. Yet there seems to be a quickening or deepening of awareness sitting in retreat with you. I have read of others dropping easily into silence with a realized teacher. And recently I came across an announcement of a person offering Christ consciousness transmissions. Thank you. Okay, well, I don't know anything about Christ consciousness transmission. So your question, Zoe, is what is transmission? How can there be transmission when all is one? And yes, you are right. In reality, in fact, there is nobody transmitting anything to anybody. But yet when you take two magnets, one next to the other, they just go, they attract each other, or they repulse each other, depending on the positive pole or positive negative pole. So you can ask, well, what's happening here? All is one. How come those two magnets are attracting each other? Transmission is not about somebody transmitting something to somebody else. There is nobody who knows something that you don't know, or who has some power that you don't have. All of that is in the relative realm of the mind. In your dream, you may dream that there is a great vizier, and there is a bunch of people who don't understand anything, and the great vizier has the wisdom. That's in your dream. And the fact is that we could say that most of our life, waking life and sleeping life, we are dreaming. You know, you often are with people and you're talking with them and you find that they're not here, they're sort of they're here, but but you don't need to look at others, look at yourself and see how you're constantly in the thoughts, in the feelings, in the emotions, So we could say that it's a waking dream. We are dreaming, constantly regurgitating thoughts and stories and feelings and opinions and hopes and regrets. And so what sort of wakefulness is that? There is a wakefulness that has nothing to do with thoughts and feelings, memories. And this wakefulness is the I am. But it's not just hearing the words and saying, oh, okay, I got it. There is a wakefulness and it's the I am. No. It's the living embodiment of that. There is a wakefulness where you are like in deep sleep, but you are awake. And like when you go out in the sun, you feel the warmth of the sun. When you come close to this wakefulness, you feel you are touched at the heart level. When you come close to, there is a reverberation within your heart, there is a recognition, something that you cannot put in words. A teacher is someone who guides you in the right direction, which is the direction of causeless happiness, freedom from any conditions, being happy across the board, irrespective of situations and conditions. And also it's somebody like a tree. When you want to be in the shade, you can come and sit in the shade. Or let's say like the sun, when you want to get some sunshine, you step out in the yard and get the sunshine, the warmth and the light of the sun. Because when the mind has been ended, when ignorance has ended, the teacher has no longer a personal agenda to sell you, or there is no personal interest. But yet there is the love of truth and the love of sharing, because the light is just flowing through. It's not coming from the teacher, it's flowing through the teacher. And you could say that's a sort of transmission in that whatever is flowing through the teacher flows through you too. Brings to you some understanding, brings to you some peace, some clarity. Or it can even trigger some questions within you that become important for you to look into. All of that, you could say, is transmission. But also, when you are in a cafe and you see somebody sitting and they look at you and they smile, just a natural smile, not somehow they're in complete peace at this moment and happy, and they smile at you, it touches your heart. That's a transmission. Or when you see a baby and the baby is just playing and they come to you and or a puppy, you caress them and they completely melt in your hands or against your body. It's a sort of transmission as well. With a teacher, you merge with the teacher over time. You sort of you're dissolving all your conditions, all your imagined obstacles. They start to dissolve, and you find yourself, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, maybe at some point, I would say mostly it's unknowingly, that you are merged, dissolving in the teacher, the teaching, and at some point you knowingly recognize yourself as that presence, as the borderless aware presence, sort of becomes your direct experience in an uninterrupted way, or very little interruption in that. So it's not like a transmission like where, oh, I know and you don't, and let me come, I'm going to transmit to you blah 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 and enlighten you. Oh no, it's not like that, because there's nobody who knows anything. Nobody knows anything, and we don't need to know. There is something about not knowing which is really beautiful. There's an innocence about not knowing, and the simplicity and the purity about not knowing, Oh, Laurie, I see your comment here. You say, would it be better termed a divine intersection versus transmission? Yes. Everything that's beautiful and that's lovely is a divine intersection, a divine. When you look over the lake and there is the glitter of the sunlight, or just the birds flying low over the lake or the surface of the water, there is this, it's a divine intersection. But yes, it's particularly divine intersection when you come upon the teaching, because it may arouse your interest in understanding, in looking, in listening. And that, yes, Laurie, that is particularly special, I would say, divine intersection, where you meet the Dharma, you meet the teaching, you meet the teacher, which is the embodiment of the teaching, and it arouses within you your interest. And once your interest is arisen, is triggered, then you need to really honor that. You need to pursue. You need to go further with it, which is to going further with the question about happiness. What is happiness that is not conditional upon a relationship or upon a certain situation. So it's an inquiry into causeless happiness. And there are some people who feel and believe there is no such thing. But when you come upon the Dharma, upon the teaching, and upon the teacher, then you are hearing a different message. The message that you are hearing is that yes, causeless happiness is our true nature, and it's essential to awaken to that, to realize that, to inquire into that, and that awakening to our true nature is a very crucial aspect of our life. The other crucial aspect is, of course, to live dharmically, to live according to the principles of wholeness and of oneness. And yes, as a way, in a retreat, in retreats, there is a quickening and a deepening. Because a retreat is a very special time where you make a commitment, you make sacrifices, you make changes in your schedule, in your life. You may have some work-related impacts, but you make that commitment that you're going to devote this time for the retreat and for inquiry and in a retreat there is, of course, the teaching and the looking and the inquiry and the deepening of that, and the stillness that's deepening and broadening. It becomes more palpable. And also, of course, there is the Sangha, the friends that are in the retreat, that have a shared interest. It does quicken and deepen your contemplation. Okay, Zoe.